The effects of stress. What is one thing that parents, teachers, and college students all have in common? The answer is stress. Many people around you are fighting stress right now over some type of issue, and chances are you do not even know about it. Many people find ways to deal with their stress, but sometimes there are people that never figure out a way. Stress is something that many people suffer from across the world. Parents stress about properly taking care of their kids, teachers stress about their students, and college students stress about even making it through college. In an article published in January of 2011 on Stress in America, studies show that most Americans are suffering from moderate to high stress, with 44% reporting that their stress levels increased over the past 5 years. Today, I will discuss with you how stress can affect different types of people. First, I will show you how stress can affect your sleep. Second, I will show you the effects of mental health behind stress. And third, I will show you the effects of stress on your physical health. One effect of sleep is the deprivation of sleep. Loss of sleep can be caused by anxiety. In an article published on sleep disorders, shows that sleep disorders are characterized by normal sleep patterns that interfere with physical, mental, and emotional functioning. Stress or anxiety can cause a previous night without sleep, as to a variety of other problems. Anxiety interferes with sleep patterns and functioning. Deprivation of sleep can also be caused by insomnia. In an article that was published in 2010 about insomnia, it states that insomnia is a symptom, not a standalone diagnosis or disease. People with insomnia can have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or awakening too early, or any combination of these, and it may be due to inadequate quality or quantity of sleep. Insomnia can cause many different issues that can make someone unable to sleep. Depression can also cause sleep deprivation. In an article published on depression and sleep, it shows that the relationship between sleep and depressive illness is complex. Depression may cause sleep problems, and sleep problems may cause or contribute to depressive disorders. As you can see, depression can highly affect sleep loss. Now that I've told you about how stress can affect sleep deprivation, I will next discuss how stress can affect your mental health. Another effect of stress is how it can affect your mental health. One mental health disorder caused by stress is schizophrenia. In an article published in 2015 on living with schizophrenia, states that for people living with schizophrenia, stress has a special significance because excessive stress is often a cause of a relapse of the psychotic symptoms, and so they must be very careful to manage and monitor the stress in their lives. Schizophrenia is a very serious personality disorder that should be taken very seriously. Another mental health disorder caused by stress is severe depression. In an article published on stress and depression, it states that too much stress or chronic stress may lead to major depression in susceptible people. Oftentimes, people find themselves in very stressful situations that they believe they are unable to handle, so then they must find themselves with a form of depression. A mental health disorder that can also be caused by stress is the bipolar disorder. In an article published on January 22, 2012, on the relations of stress and bipolar, show that stress is a well-known trigger for most episodes for people living with bipolar and can manifest in emotional, cognitive, behavioral, and physical symptoms. Bipolar disorders can cause people to have mood swings and act very strangely, oftentimes relatively due to a recent stress that has taken place in their lives. Now that I've told you about how stress affects your mental health, I will finally explain how stress relates to events that have recently taken place in someone's life. Stress can also affect your physical health as well. One way stress can harm your physical health is by causing high blood pressure. In an article published on October 3rd of 2015 on stress and high blood pressure, it says that your body produces a surge of hormones when you're in a stressful situation. These hormones temporarily increase your blood pressure by causing your heart to beat faster and your blood vessels to narrow. When you find yourself in a stressful situation, you can oftentimes find your heart beating faster and your blood pressure rising. Another effect stress can have on your physical health is by causing heart disease. In an article published on heart disease and stress, it says that stress itself is a ripple factor for heart disease because chronic stress exposes your body to unhealthy, persistently elevated levels of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. A lot of stress is not good for any part of your body, but that is more than true for the heart. A lot of stress can also amount to obesity and diabetes. In an article published on sleep disorders, it states that stress is one environmental factor that contributes to the development of obesity. Chronic stress plays a major role in the development of obesity, with particular attention to the effects of chronic psychological stress. In many different situations, people get stressed and eat large amounts of sugary sweets, which can lead to obesity and diabetes. Now you know more about the different effects of stress and how it can affect your sleep patterns, mental health, and your physical health as well. It is very important to remember the long-term effects that stress can cause and have. It is very easy to obtain them. Stress disorders are very common today, and it is always very important to seek medical help. A lot of people around you may suffer from stress disorder, and you may not realize it just because they are pretty good at covering it up. But it is important to remind yourself and others that we live in a very stressful world, and there is no shame in asking for help. But there is shame in letting stress harm your body and essentially take over.